you're listening to the SMS right here on the ELBC 99.9 and other frequencies across Liberia. We just received one of our guests, in fact, in studio. It's about 28 minutes up to 10 o'clock. But we'll see what we can add more time anyway. Mr. Doe, Isaac Doe, welcome to the program.
Well, Sava, good morning, and thank you for having us. Sorry for coming in a little past time. We had some other engagements that we needed to quickly adhere to and then keep on running here because we feel it is important to take on this platform and talk to our people, especially with this time, having few more days to a day when Liberia will be standing still, where the mighty Coalition for Democratic Change will be coming outside, having its official campaign launch, where we think Liberia will be experiencing the biggest gathering of enthusiastic people who will be coming out to tell the world that our country is going forward.
Okay.
So thank you for the invite.
So let's begin on that note. You talk about the biggest gathering. When is that and where will the gathering be held?
You know, I always like to be very clear. I am not an official member of the campaign team, but I do what I do as my
a key member of the intellectual.
Oh yeah.
On top of the information.
So, you know, let me start off with this. A certain time, just like a year or a few months ago, a lot of our friends who are in a very minority group now, of the loudest mouth, always said that President Weah's popularity has been diminished. The man got no followers, he got no people, and then came the thank you rally sometime around February, where they were then asking, but who is this man? Is he actually one of us that we always think, oh, we miss Georgia? And this time around, people may be wondering as to if humans are in a certain cage that will be released in our country. So we think, I particularly don't want to place a place or the term value on the gathering because I know Liberia as a country will be standing still, where in every part of Liberia we experience human tsunami. But as to the official venue, from what I'm told, the very small, I mean small in terms of the capacity of people that will be there, ATS will be the official or ground for the launch of the campaign. Again, I'm not an official member of the campaign, so pardon me if I will say something that is not right, so but I doubt. And also after the campaign, there will be a lot of things around the place. And, but I know there will be campaigning every corner, every street, every place, every village in Liberia. But the people will take the very small ATS. You know, ATS is not small in terms of small, but it is small in our view now, because the human capacity will consume every single space of that place. And so, yeah, it will be at the ATS, and that will be September 7.
Okay. Now, we are intellectual movement, which you are part of. They're holding couple pockets of citizens' engagement in various communities. How has that been going?
So, we've always got one thing. The people are very glued towards a Liberia they have always envisaged. We've got the sense that voice today will not matter much in the ears of the people, but action will. The people have always heard about building markets. During President Weah's presidency, they have seen building markets. They are going to take eyes, physical contact over ears, voice. That's why I am so confident and relaxed. And I feel even more so in this election than 2017. Because in 2017, President Weah now, who was then senator, was coming to be president and telling the people what he would do. In 2023, he is telling the people with physical evidence what he has done. And so I feel so proud when I'm engaging people for the fact that if I would say President Weah has constructed hospitals, I can point to the Emerald Hospital. I I can say go there, you will see big hospital. Somebody said Kulu Kulu with your own eyes. If I say President Weah has transformed the University of Liberia, I can tell someone that you no longer will stand online to do your registration. Just have your little phone in your comfort of your homes. So whatever we said today is backed by evidence. And I think the people appreciate the fact that voice no longer play a major role in the bad politics of our country, but action does. And President Weah being the action president cannot be sacrificed for people who had the opportunity to have done even more. Were there, giving all of the major platforms the big portfolios, but did nothing. But only today come with voice. Voice cannot overpass action. The people want action. Now,
so what has been some of the communities that the real intellectual movement, because if my memory can serve me right, you were somewhere in New Georgia, and what are some of the communities?
It's a lot, so I want to think now. But we were in New Georgia, we were in District 6 yesterday. We were in District 8, we've been District. We almost crossed all of the districts, I would think. Maybe the only district we've not been to yet, Moserado, is District 1, and I think District 17. I may want to guess. But even outside of Moserado County, we've gone to
let me just hold you there. Mr. Bwaka Fufana is on the line. Your chair is on the line. Mr. Chair, good morning and welcome to the SMS.
Well, thank you so much, Saba. It's a wonderful opportunity to be on. I think Isaac is doing quite wonderfully. He is, if I will, go into some other explanation, the engine of the We Are Intellectual movement. He, outlines most of our visits, and it's no surprise that he's doing very well this morning. I just wanted to add up to, a couple of the conversations that are happening in studio. The president, you have Isaac Ware on this morning, and some of these visits we ourselves have made, and we've been up country, preparing the way ahead of the president's arrival. Isaac and I were in, and other members of the We Are Intellectual movement were also in Bumming, where we went on a few radio stations before the arrival of His Excellency there. And, judging from these engagements, one can just tell that there is sort of a massive endorsement of His Excellency across the country.
Massive endorsement?
Oh yeah.
How do you explain that clearly for people to understand?
Well, I mean, it is, you would have thought that it was just in Monrovia that the president would be welcomed so overwhelmingly by people from all walks of life, whether the old, the young, the marketers, and all of that. But it's also happening in the rural areas. There are places where we do not have larger population concentration, but when the president goes there, you see people coming out. That was the same case with Bumming. Bumming County is sparsely populated, but when he rolled into Topman, there was just the convergence of people. But we could tell before his arrival when we were on a few radio stations and the calls were coming in. People by themselves were just enumerating the kind of development taking place in their respective counties. Whether it was in Bumming, whether it was a nursing quarter in Bumming, in Grand Cape Mount, what are people talking about the Badina to Rappaport Road, the development of the tourism sector there and all of that. So, I mean, people were just, it was sort of, it wasn't much of a shocker, but it was, I was a little bit surprised at the sheer enthusiasm, the overwhelming, emotions that the people were expressing in all the rural counties ahead of the president's visit as he goes there. So this is quite uncharacteristic of incumbent presidents, because the person would have had their share in office, and there will be some liabilities and all of that opposition folks will point to, or some of the citizenry will point to. So when they're campaigning, those stuff going to be brought up. So there's going to be some hesitance here, there, yonder. But that's not the case with President George M. Weah. And I think this is beginning to surprise even the folks in the opposition, to the extent they are wondering now whether President Weah is going to win the election. They are wondering whether he's going to win the election in the first round. So that is the new conversation. And that is exactly what the We Are Intellectual movement have been moving around the country, trying to reinforce the good deeds of
Bwaka? Wow, he's off the line. He's off the line. Okay, so you can continue there.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to call back. I mean, he's saying it around, and I don't want my mind to actually slide off this. When I was coming in studio, on my way rushing, we got this information that I want to respectfully send out, if it is correct. That's something I did not authenticate, but it is something floating around that the former vice president made a quick trip out of the country. Some said for some medical checkup, others said for some other reasons. But our understanding is that he's not in the country because we know after the campaign schedule.
Okay, quickly, let me just continue with Boaka and then I end up with him. Yes, continue with that.
Yeah, so that is the level of conversation now the folks are having. They are certain that President Weir is going to get reelected. Look, forget about the charade, forget about the political posturing our folks are putting up. You know, we're going to win one round in this election. Have you seen the level of crop pictures that they post on social media after an event? Nobody sees how they get there. Nobody sees how they get out of there. We want to see a certain crop picture, or instead of crop pictures, making it around, surprisingly or unsurprisingly, all of them will be posting the same set of pictures, so they are trying to measure the level of popularity that the president has, which even Joseph Boakai himself admitted to in his interview on Truth FM recently, when he said that the president amasses so much support amongst young people because of some of the things that he advised Ellen to take care of for young people that President Weir now is doing. And his former boss failed to do in theater or in public and all that. But that's for them to settle. I'm just here to emphasize that His Excellency President Weir, will win such massive victory in this coming election. We are so certain of that. When he comes back to Monrovia today, or probably tomorrow, there's going to be the preparation for the trip to Maigibi. So the folks to Maigibi can get ready. There's going to be the trip up to Napa County. He might touch River. There might be some visitation of one county, and he will come for the massive, and that's what the We Are Intellectual movement is going to be popularizing in the weeks leading up to September 7th, which is the massive launch of the We Are Taylor 2023 campaign. It's going to be happening at the Antoinette Tubman Stadium. But the thing about the supporters of His Excellency the President, not a single location can contain them. We saw what happened during the thank you rally. It was a tsunami, a human tsunami, a convergence of such multitude of people. We're going to multiply that by tenfold on September 7th. I mean, people's going to come out from all walks of life to just put a final nail to the coffin and say, well, this is a done deal. That President George M. Weir is the candidate or the president that we want for this election. And that's the resounding message we from the We Are Intellectual movement are going to be taking to the various communities. Yesterday, we're in Kingray, but expect us in all the different communities ahead of September 7th. So that's just the point I wanted to emphasize.
Many thanks. He's Minister Buck Afufana and Deputy Minister at the Ministry of Information. He's the chair of the We Are Intellectual movement. Now, you listen to Buck, and let's pick up from this. He said, not only in Monrovia, but outside of Monrovia, especially what he saw in Balport, in Cape Mount, in the bombing, the huge number of people who continue to show up to express support for His Excellency, Dr. George Weir. Now, why do you think our people continue to leave their homes like that to show up, going to greet the president, meeting the president, and dancing and drumming for the president as well? What do you think?
Sabah, thank you. If you may allow me very quickly, in place of my time, the reason is simple. I want you to kindly listen to this for me very quickly. So, I just wanted to play this. This was our trip in Bombay. After we've engaged the community radio stations, some intellectual centers, the hospital grounds, the parking grounds, and some community centers, we decided to take a walk into the market with our CDC regalia and some other symbols of the CDC. When we got into the market, I was so shocked, my brother, to see the crowd of our mothers, our sisters, fathers, and brothers in the market, chanting, singing the George Weah song, dancing. The other old lady grabbed my foot and said, if we don't give her T-shirt, we will not leave them again. So I told her, Mama, I will come behind you and you will say it together. Lucky they did. I had a shirt in the car. I went for it and gave it to her. She put it and started dancing. And then this lady who was speaking, I just saw her from the distance. The president that make it, we never used to drink cold water. Today we drink cold water in Bomi. When I go home, I put my fan on. My children there, as soon as they graduate, they went to AU, they pay no money. So I went straight to her. I said, wow, Mama, you saying things though? She said, oh yeah. And then when they come, they say they may not do nothing. Somebody can even be on the same line the men bring. Then they say, these are the reason why you see our people come out in their numbers to greet the president wherever he goes. When we were starting Maserati when the president goes to the places of a crowd, I said, well, this is the Maserati. Probably when we go in the counters, we'll see some challenge. But my brother, it is as if those in the counters, the other places, are even more prepared for this man than even us here. Okay. And I thought, something is happening in this country never seen before. How is it that just by entering a market building, you see usually when you go to these places, at least one or two persons will have a descending view. We have something else to say from the other side. But every single person is on the same path. It only says how well our people understand what exactly is going on in our country. How well they know that President Weah is not only bringing electricity, but he's making it cheaper for them. It is only well, sweet, and so fine. It is very amazing to see how our people understand the fact that they will no longer have to suffer to pay the riot fees for their kids, to pay the UL and the other community colleges, public universities tuition for their children. I feel so proud for the fact that they understand this president is building markets across the places. He's building roads across the places. He's empowering young people. We were even going to Grand Cape Mount, and then we stopped at a place called Vonsvilla. I hope I pronounced the place good. There was this gigantic, very beautifully constructed youth center, and we stopped. When I went there, I saw all of the people running, I'm like, something is going on unprecedented. So, my brother, on September 7, the path that I want us to go on, Liberia will experience a shock of humans, where you will wonder if people came from some part of the space to come onto this ground. Because you will ask yourself, where exactly are these people coming from? And for me, I just don't want to believe that the ATS that happens to be the official venue is the place for our campaign launch. I think Liberia, every part of this country, will be places for our campaign launch. Because if you were to go to Broad Street, you will see human beings like never seen before. If you were to drive to McGibby, you will experience tsunami. If you were to drive to go to Maryland County, you will experience human being. These people will be coming up to show the world that Liberia has graduated from the past and Liberia is in the future. We cannot put our foot in the future, take it from there and go back to the past. Now people will be so much glued to ensuring everyone understands that. And I was saying something before concerning the former vice president. This again is speculated around as per the campaign schedule we have for the United Party, where they should be campaigning this or today, tomorrow. We'll see how things go. But we understand that the former vice president was rushed out of the country, and as a matter of fact, now it was confirmed by one of our friends on the very same flight that he's on, that indeed he is leaving the country, or many,
But it's not clear whether it's medical.
Well, let's put it that way. But at that age, it is, I would call it a privileged age, an age where you should be proud of. At 80, 81, 79, you kind of think you will be having a lot of these emergency medical issues. So I don't think it is abnormal. I think it is something we must embrace. That at the I mean, you can't take my word for it. Listen to his vast standard bearer who was on OKFM just a few months ago, who said he decided to support Mr. Boakai in 2017 because he knows that by 2023, the women who make it again, his brain memory will be declining. He said it, not me. It's right everywhere on the media. And so at that age, you experience a lot of medical issues to come in. That's why if he were my father, I would not have allowed anyone to put the old man in the situation he's in. He should be having good rest, talking to his grandkids, and teaching them life lesson instead of being all around the place, rushed here, taking, put glasses on. I thought they are not doing good to someone who I call a senior citizen. But to that, though, we understand. Many media speculation is that he's going for some quick medical checkup. We just want to wish him well. We want the former vice president on the campaign trail. We want to have this as a competitive race. We as it now, we are looking for something. We want to run a campaign. It is like President Weah is just having a blowout. So we want him back. We wish him speedy recovery if his quick travel is related to any medical issues. And we wish him well. And I hope when he comes back, there is a way he can campaign and rest. I don't know how it's going to happen, but we want to encourage him to take the advices of his medical doctors. If they ask him to leave this thing, leave it. I mean, you've achieved everything you needed to achieve on earth. You've been vice president, ministers, and everything. I don't think there's anything there again because we all know President Weah is going to win these elections on the first ballot. Now, why we think so is because if you were to take the elections to 200 rounds, President Weah will win every single 200 rounds. So why waste time to 200 rounds? Let's just make it one, and the country got a lot of things.
What are you so upbeat about just one round?
This country got a lot of work. My understanding is, which I hope it is right, a second round will take the country some 40 million expenses. Why should we be spending money when we can do it in the first round and spend that money on something else? Because President Weah is going to win these elections no matter how many rounds. Why should we spend additional 40 millions that could go to construction of some roads or some markets or paying more WIAC fees or building more hospitals, building more schools, making sure a lot of civil servants get salary where no one gets below $150? Why should we do that? And so we know with the level of return on places we've gone and what we have seen, there is very, very little possibility, very little to the minimum that we have a second round. I mean, you can sense things by even pictures being placed on Facebook. Our friends from the other side will take photo and then crop it, do it in a way that you see the people here, then 3-3-1, he will get 4A, just so the crowd looks a little bit. But you can see the total rejection from the other side. It only tells you that President Weah is amassing all of these people that come, in fact, on September 7th, you will be in studio as a journalist and get the testimony that indeed what your eyes have seen. You've been around for quite a time. You can tell the people you've never seen what you will see on September 7th throughout your political lives since you've been covering politics. Because human being will come out to send a message that Liberia will not go back. And that's why we are encouraging all of our people from everywhere to ensure Liberia gets its biggest holiday come September 7th. We have to show to the world that we mean business. We have to show to the world that the past is the past. And the person in the future should remain the person in the future.
Let me take just a few calls quickly. 0776-540-987. Or better still, 0880-514-096. That's the numbers to call, and you are live on the SMS this morning. 0776-540-987. This first caller. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Saba.
Good morning, Mama.
Good morning to our initiative.
Good morning, sir.
Monday is with us on that and I call for my rehab resident. Like you put it right. Like the 5% of us that on the state radio and she said it, why waste a second term money when you can use it to open up other roads, maybe within Imperial community or to add money to the coastal highway. So but then I listened to him yesterday when he said he has not been kill people, he hasn't worked and that's so we know the kind of person that we began today. So when he entered the country of the other people that are keeping on being killing, he's going to react to them because you will see the patient will go close and then still some people when they say they got it normal, they got this. But it's not normal. It's going at the ballot box and authority and cashing the vote. So why you have the number, you have the cash, authority will do the DD. So you
Okay.
can do it.
Many thanks. Let me take this caller. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
To the Minister of Minister.
Brother.
Okay. You have to change your location a bit, please.
You get me now?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you very much. Some people are seeing
Your line is still terrible. You have to change your location. Hello? No, your line is still terrible. You have to change your location, please. Let's take this caller. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Saba, and good morning to your studio guests.
Okay.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Alvin Chi. I'm calling from Sultanate Democrat to be precise. Yeah, Saba, straight to the issue. You see, this president is Excellency Dr. George Kupon, Fakupon, Jara Sepuji, Bakuba, Dr. Manatano, we are is developmental oriented. So come October 10 will not be late. Now, it's on this president we are enjoying stable electricity. It is on this president our children going to take wives, government provided them their own scientific calculators, government provide them, take their wives fee, after the fee taking wives, government, through NGO, government send them amount of money in the mobile money and come. It is on this president we enjoying development. It is on this president we enjoying stable peace. The president where 2073 on this data, it was the wrong president, war was coming to come. But you know, Chairman Saba, what God has destined, no man can go against it. So
Okay.
October 10 will not be late, but to re-elect His Excellency Dr. George Kupamana, we are.
Okay. You made your point. Let's take this caller. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Saba.
Yes, sir. Quickly.
Yeah, good morning, Saba.
Yes, sir. Let's hear from you.
Good morning, Saba.
Let's hear from you.
Saba.
Hello?
This is Clinton with Jason Saba, and I join you from my Popo corner in Lokita.
Okay.
Saba, I applaud Mr. Doe in studio. I think he listened well on behalf of the Labyrinth people. Saba, to me, it will be the first time voter that will block opposition.
Oh, yeah.
Someone see Liberian young people trooping the way through for high school. Their parents are not sending bitter ball. Their parents are not sending the laptop so that they will take wives. So they should know that Liberian people are convinced that President Weah is working in the interest all over targets for Iran. Even in local town, if you were to hear somebody, you were to come here to see the new business of the Liberian society, someone you get to know that this president is waiting to build this country. So we want to say thank you very much. And someone, even the county to us, I was in Bome County when I saw him being, it was a tsunami. I was like, wow, after that was so let it be living in darkness, let it be living in the state of Oblivion to say they are doing from heart to heart. Like, people want to see your political subject, the president we are doing. Thank you very much.
Let me take this call. I'll take 2 more calls and I'll wrap it up. Good morning. Good morning. Hello? Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning, sir.
Okay, it's about this is about the regular listener of the video station and the coordinator of the We Are UEV Legend for your district, Lufagate. And let me just join my studio here with the schedule of having September the 7th. And then when you look at the We Are the captain tour, it's already referred to our authorities. They can finish because everything is simple. Have you seen the president of the Foya, seen the man like Foya, That means I've never seen for ya. Why you have to go second round? That second round, no second round, let's go President we are. We all the candidates so that we can face our local rule. That's all we are telling them. So then
Okay.
this way happen coming for at least few months, we'll be seeing coming here, you know what I mean? President we are one time we need it. Thank you.
Many thanks, many thanks. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. What you getting me now?
I'm getting you quickly.
Very good. People defender. Support, you know, the people you don't you come and tell and say that the president yesterday in 114 counties on now the people are seeing what see. They see public situation. Support. Even my grandmother was about to start. You all put the money in your budget. That's the person who said when you will do it, then you're not doing it. No. When the man started around and said that there'll be a earthquake, or she only thing that you broke ground for, we see it, it's tangible, the poor see it, the feeling. So there is no other board. This is why the poor are coming out.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Many thanks. This final one. Good morning.
So there is no other board. This is why the
Good
poor are
morning.
coming out. Okay, very much. Many thanks. This final one.
Okay. Since this caller is not ready, I can take this caller. Okay, so let me go back to my studio guest for his parting comment, and then I'll take leave of him.
Well, thank you, Sabo. And you know, a lot of things are happening. Sabo, when we went to Grand Cape Town, we visited Bullwater side. While we're in Bullwater, as soon as our vehicle got a CDC sticker and stuff, as soon as we got on the post, started telling, oh, the president will be here to dedicate the market in Bullwater side. The president built market there. And then say at how you call this place? A certain other town, I'm forgetting the name what the president had, another market constructed. I'm like, are you kidding me? Every part of this country is experiencing something.
Yeah.
Now we're on our way to Robertsport. The road there is being worked on, you see. A lot of things going on, like expansion. Like everywhere we went, we saw with our eyes things happening. And so we said to our people, one, September 7, every citizen, wherever you are, it is the time to show the world and our friends that we should stop joking in this country. It is the time we have to come out and tell the entire planet that Liberia means business, that President Weah has brought back things that have been missing for a long time, that President Weah will continue his developmental path. And come October 10, we are going to have choices. One on one side and a bunch on the other side. Tuition-free policy at the level of universities, where incoming from high school graduation, you got no worry to go through. President Weah has brought that. The rest of the others, none. Building of roads. Liberia has had about 700 kilometers of roads since 1847. Today, we are somewhere around 1,300 plus. What more do you want? Our people will come to you. The other side will come to you. They will come and tell you will get air conditioning all on the street. They will come to tell you how you will eat cow meat every day. They will come to tell you how people are suffering. But hey, they were there before. Well, it is true. I don't believe in anyone suffering. But you want to ask, has no one suffered before when they were there? Of course, people did. Worse than the way it is now. So our people come September 7th, come out, support the CDC, come October 10th, ensure this is a one-round victory, and we need to have a president who has brought Liberia to where it is, from the collapse of economic meltdown to a prosperous society, to a place where development is going on across the place.
Okay.
Thank you so much for the time, and September 7th is the day Liberia will stand still.
It's Minister Isaac Ado, a key member of the Real Intellectual Movement. You're my guest on the second and final lap of the program. Join me tomorrow, God's willing. I'm sure I'll host from Solicitor General and now a presidential candidate. The man who parades with the broom everywhere. He said when he gets to the presidency, he will sweep corruption out of Liberia. Tiawan Gonglo, Councillor, will be my guest. That's tomorrow at 9 to 10. On behalf of the entire crew, including my indefatigable, illustrious and hard-working producer, the man Melvin Sewell. That my husband behind the camera. Sabo George is my name. Thanks for listening. There's no second chance for fresh